Hello, magnificent human beings. My name is Landon with Yoga New Mexico, where we focus on empowerment, alignment, and strength. You are in the right place, capable and strong. What are we going to do today for Wednesday's educational piece? It is the theme of the week. It is Balasana, that is child's pose. So I think we hear the word child's pose and think, okay, just collapse, just fall, just give up, just do nothing. And while surrendering is a good word to use in your child's pose to help you relax, there's also other cool things that we can do in our child's pose. So if you are curious of how to make child's pose a hip opener, stick around. If you are curious about different ways to come in to your child's pose, then stick around. And yeah, just gonna do some child's pose. So you stick around, roll out your mat, and I will roll the intro screen. Thank you so much for being here. So let's take a look at child's pose, Balasana. Now, before we get started, I'd like to call out a little yoga elephant in the room, which has to do with if you're a guy, this can pinch certain things. And then if you're a woman who has large breasts, then coming down into this posture, sometimes you just get a face full of breasts. Or if you're a guy and you don't position yourself right, you get pinched. And it's funny, people don't talk about these things, right? Like, there's so many different body types out there. And you really, depending on what pose you're coming into, just because how your body is structured could actually kind of prevent you a little bit or hold you back. And so you'll have to find ways in which to compensate. Men, I can tell you that you need to do like a little dance and kind of like shift around so things aren't getting pinched. And for women, obviously, I can't speak to that, but I do know that there are various modifications and different ways of which you can help to get into this posture that may make it easier depending on, whichever sex you may be. Even transgender, I'm not sure, I'm just saying, depending on your body type, depending on what type of human you are, you will face inherent challenges in your yoga practice that you need to not beat yourself up about. You need to learn how to accept, and you need to learn how to be able to relax regardless of what your body may be. So let's take a look at child's pose. Traditionally in our child's pose, here's the foundation. Legs are together, heels are together. Don't let them flail out. Everything is nice and tight together. You don't need to squeeze everything in, but keeping everything as together as possible. And see, even when I'm like sitting down right now, I'm like, oh, okay, I'm good. And so, again, it's about trying to position and find wherever you need to be in your pose. So this is the base, our thunderbolt, right? And you may need to bring the earth up to you. So if you fold down, you just place your forehead on the block. And you can bring your hands along beside you here and just relax. And even if you can bring your forehead all the way down to the mat, I suggest trying it with a block anyways, because I think you get a different feeling in your shoulders when you do this and when you breathe. So first tip, use a block. Use a block even if you don't need a block and see what it changes for you. Child's pose is definitely a posture in which we seek to surrender and relax. And the only thing you should be focusing on in child's pose is really, your breath, right? Just being able to dissolve and release and relax as much as you can. I think in yoga there's a lot of striving and wanting to feel the stretch or become stronger and go, go, go. But I would argue that child's pose is very akin to Shavasana when you're seeking to do very little. So try a block if you haven't used a block before. And then when you're laying here, I mean, really that's just kind of what you're doing is laying there and positioning yourself to be able to relax as much as you can. Some people feel weirdness in their ankles. Some people feel a little bit of awkwardness, in their knees or wherever it may be. And all I can say is that you need to position yourself so that you won't feel as much tension. Now, there is extended arms child's pose where your hands are out here in front of you. But again, you're just relaxing. And do not get this confused with Ardha Kurmasana, half tortoise, because half tortoise has a totally different cadence and rhythm and reaching involved in it, whereas child's pose does not. Traditional child's pose, arms down behind you. And then another cool version of child's pose is, I've heard it called peaceful warrior before, where you separate your knees and it's kind of like a wide-kneed child's pose. And then from your wide-kneed child's pose, you seek to let your torso fall in between your knees. So coming on down. And there you have it. Now, a cool way to make this a hip opener is in your wide-kneed child's pose. I think that a lot of us shortchange ourselves and we can come much deeper. So if you're used to doing, partly mat's distance or all of mat's distance, you may be surprised to find out that you can take your knees way farther and get a deeper hip opening. And then come on down. Just as you do this, make sure you seek to leave your heels, your glutes onto your heels here, because the more they come off, then I think you start to lose the balance of what's a hip opening. And then when you're not able to relax as much as you can in this posture, then it starts to defeat the whole purpose of the posture of child's pose. I really enjoy this posture because it is a mental challenge, I think, for a lot of people, and to lay there and just kind of accept you all balled up in yourself can be challenging for some folks. And also there's physical challenges involved as well. And I took a survey one time actually in a class of what poses people hate, and they said, I hate Warrior 3, or I hate this, and hate's a strong word, right? But just the ones they really didn't prefer to do. And of the 20 people that I asked, 2 of them said child's pose was the number one posture that they truly did not enjoy. And it could have to do with something mental. It could have to do with something physical. You never know. So all I'm saying is don't take this posture for granted, because there are a lot of folks out there who, really dislike this pose, but can also really benefit from it. And so hopefully today I've showed you a couple things, either using a block or being able to separate your knees, or how you come into your child's pose that may change things. Again, if you need to reposition or move or whatever it is, just do so. And don't feel guilty about it, and don't feel weird about it that you had to slightly modify the posture. That is an excellent sign of you becoming a better yogi, because you are listening to your body. So thank you so much for being here. I greatly appreciate it. If you have questions, comments, concerns, any of that good stuff, put them in the comments below and I will get back to you. And from my heart to yours, you are a magnificent human being. You are in the right place. You are capable. You are strong. Thank you so much and namaste.